Welcome to the Love Shack with Felix and the Dicer.
That's us.
Yep, that's us. Oh, and this is KAGJ FM Ephraim.
At the top of the hour.
Top of the hour, every hour. So, this week we have...
a great show.
A great show, always a great show.
We're going to be talking about lots of different stuff. No really specific topic, though.
It's not like last week.
It's not themed.
We kind of had a theme, but you'll see. Just stay tuned for the next 2 hours.
It'll be good. I promise.
Worth your time. So, for our top breakup song of the week, we have two going head to head, and this was a hard one for me because these are my two favorite songs right now.
They're two really good songs,
and so I had a hard time voting. I was like, I like them both. I don't know what to do.
And I'm pretty sure right now on our Facebook page, I looked at it a while ago and it's tied.
It's actually one is ahead.
Which one?
I don't know.
Don't tell me.
I don't know.
We'll find out. Stay tuned.
Yeah, we'll find out at the end of our show. So.
Speaking of our Facebook page, though, go there, like it, and vote.
And if you like it, that will just make us a happy camper.
We already,
We'd be pleased.
We'd be
pleased.
Very pleased, actually.
Okay, anyway, our Facebook page is www.facebook.com/The Love Shack with Felix and the Dicer. No hyphens, no capitalization, no nothing.
Straight through right there.
Yep, just type it in. So go like it, vote, or call into the cage. Our number is 435-283-7007. The two songs that are going head-to-head this week are 50 Ways to Say Goodbye by Train and Payphone by Maroon 5. So keep listening to The Cage. All right.
Payphone.
The best version of Payphone, dare I say. Because, honestly, it doesn't have that weird rap in it, and it doesn't swear. So I'm a big fan.
I'm a fan. I liked it.
I don't know. I think that rap is just so awkward. It's like all of a sudden, here, have some rap. I don't understand.
Do that lately.
That's
what the kids like.
It's what the kids are into these days. I just don't understand. Anyway, so let's get to our first topic. So the actual topic is... What are you doing?
Okay, so story. Real quick, before we go into this topic... There is this room that, we talk in for this radio station. It's way great. And, there's this air freshener here, and it smells really, really good. And I was just smelling it, and for some reason the Dicer thinks that that's off or something.
Well, you're just smelling your finger, and I'm like...
It's because I touched it, and it smells like raspberries.
Okay, we need to move on. We need to move on.
The song, well, you guys have probably heard this, and this is actually what we're going to be playing next on our playlist. I Just Haven't Met You Yet, Michael Bublé, was actually the winner of our top love song of the semester last semester. So, Holla. So, we're actually going to be talking a little bit about that song, kind of, pretty much like what it is pretty much talking about. It saying, Just Haven't Met You Yet. I mean, everyone's heard that song, let's just be honest.
Well, I think that it's kind of surprising because I remember being in my teen living class in 8th grade, and I'm not sure if the statistics have gone up or down since then, but my teacher said that 1 in 10 students will marry their high school sweetheart. So it doesn't sound like that many, but at the same time...
That's pretty good. It's like that 1 in 10 people will marry someone that they went to high school with.
Like my graduating class, we had 900 some odd kids there, so that means 90 of the kids in my graduating class will be marrying someone from our graduating class. Well, not necessarily, but you know what I mean? That's a lot.
Statistics, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot if you think about it.
Yeah, it is really weird. I don't know. I think that the odds aren't necessarily high, but I think that considering it is pretty decent. But at the same time, like odds, that's 9 out of 10 people that don't know who they're going to be ending up with in high school, you know what I mean? And then also, I don't know, you rule out all the people who are like in childhood sweethearts because you're kind of like family when you look back, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. And I think some people they get a little turned off by it, almost, where it's like, but they're like my brother. Incest. They're like my brother, no. Really. But you gotta think about it this way. I mean, you're going to marry your best friend. If you don't marry your best friend, I feel like that's weird. And Plus, who better to fit in your family than someone who's basically a part of your family already?
Yeah, it depends on who it is, though. Let's just be honest. I have some friends. Actually, I think of someone specifically. I grew up with this kid. He's a great kid. Love him to death. But there's just nothing there, and I honestly don't think that there will be, which makes me really kind of sad, in all honesty, because his family loves me. Let's be honest, who doesn't? Just kidding. But pretty much.
You weren't really kidding, though.
I really wasn't. Anyways, but pretty much their family, like, loves me, and he's, you know, his mom actually came up to me this weekend. I went up north this weekend, and she was just like, are you writing Kevin on his mission? And, like, all this different stuff, and I don't know. He's a good kid, but then at the same time, on my end, it's never, ever, ever, ever gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it depends on the circumstance. I do understand that, but in some cases, it feels like incest, and it's disgusting. But it depends on the situation. So, you know.
Yeah. I also think, I don't know, it depends, because sometimes there are people that you know and you can't stand them.
Okay, yeah.
And I've heard several stories. I have one in my family, you know, where the girl didn't like the boy when they first met, you know, and then they end up getting married.
What?
So it's all about first impressions, which we talked about last week.
We did.
So I don't know if necessarily, like, hold on, let me try to phrase this really quick.
Okay.
I don't know if you should actually just be like, I hate them, I should keep hating them, because you kind of have to be open to those opportunities that might happen.
Well, yeah.
So that's my 2 cents on that.
Well, first thing I think about when I think about that is, like, the typical chick flick that everybody loves. Well, not everybody. I'm pretty sure half the male population doesn't even know what this is. But, like, Pride and Prejudice, you know what I mean? Like, you think about the Mr. Darcy and, like, the Elizabeth Bennet and how they just, well, he liked her. He was just a brat. And she didn't like him. Like, that's just how it was, you know what I mean? And that happens more often than, you know what I mean? I actually heard the statistic once. This sounds really weird, but, like, I heard that 50% of the people that you first meet are going to have a good first impression of you. 50% aren't. And
that makes me a little self-conscious now.
I know, me too.
I'm not going to lie.
But then in that 50% of the people that first meet you, 25%, so, you know, 25% of the people that meet you are going to like you when they first meet you and keep liking you. And then, like, the other 25% is going to like you at first and then find a reason not to like you. And then, like, the 50% that doesn't like you, like, it's cut in half again, like the people who don't like you and will never like you. And then there's the 25% that like you and will eventually learn to love you.
That's kind of, those are scary statistics. I don't know.
I know.
I think of myself as, like, I can't imagine people having a bad impression of me.
Well,
so.
you're the exception.
Is that horrible?
You're the exception.
Like, I don't think that many people would be like, oh, the dicer.
Well, maybe it's not bad. Maybe
again.
it's just not, like, way good first impressions. Because I know that I get weird first impressions when people first meet me all the time. So.
Well, actually, I guess there are people that I used to work with who thought that I was too cool for them, so they wouldn't talk to me.
Exactly.
Whatever.
But I'm just saying, there are always going to be, not necessarily even people that you can't stand. Don't rule out anyone, because the thing is that this world is a big pool of swimming males and females who are looking for people to date, and if you rule people out, then you're missing opportunities.
A big pool of swimming males and females. That is the best analogy you could come up with.
Well, it makes it sound, never mind, that sounds disgusting.
Okay, we're gonna move on. On that note.
Okay, so pretty much just don't rule anyone out, because first impressions don't mean much. We talked about it last week.
Right. And then, like, on the other hand, not just like, you know, you might have met them already, but, you know, you might not have met them yet. So, I don't know. It's kind of hopeful, though.
I think it's hopeful because, frankly, I have lots of guy friends, lots of people that I've met, and I know I'm like, okay, well, none of them really are up to par to what you want them to be, and then you feel like, oh, my expectations are too high, and you just don't really know. And do you know what? I think the biggest thing, though, is that, I don't know, that you need to be really, really careful about that, though, because I know that sometimes I feel like I have too high of expectations.
Yeah.
And that people are never going to meet that. But at the same time, I need to try and remember what I deserve. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Like, I think that's something that people struggle with all the time. People settle for things that they don't necessarily deserve, mostly because they're like, I don't know if anything better is going to come along.
Yeah. And I think that goes both ways, too, because I've learned, especially recently, where, you know, in certain circumstances, some people may think, okay, well, they're out of my league, you know? They're not, you know, ever going to look at me, and they're, you know, way up there and I'm way down here. When, all actuality, if that were to work out and say that they ended up settling for you, this is coming for me, because I've had this happen recently.
Yeah.
Like, where you are like, okay, well, they're so out of my league, and then, in the end, you don't want anyone to settle for you, because you deserve better than that.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not about the out of my league thing, like how we talked about. It's like out of your comfort zone and what's most comfortable for you and what's going to help you feel good about yourself and help you grow and progress and, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes in certain situations, I know that you can't, you know what I mean? You can't just expect or even push that to happen. Well, you can, but it'll have negative consequences on yourself.
Right.
So know what you deserve. You deserve to be treated right. You deserve to be treated good. And
yeah, and I think that goes for everyone. It doesn't, like, that applies for everyone. Everyone deserves to feel that way. It doesn't matter.
Everyone deserves to be adored.
You know, how well liked you are, what religion you are, how old you are. Everyone deserves to feel that way.
Exactly. Everyone deserves to feel that way. And so I think it's important while you're having that mentality of just haven't met you yet, maybe someday, you know what I mean?
Right.
Have those expectations, know what you want, but at the same time, be realistic, but never, ever, ever, ever forget what you deserve.
Absolutely.
So,
all right. Well, good spiel.
Yeah.
Okay, so like Felix said before, we're going to be playing I Just Haven't Met You Yet in honor of, like, this last topic's title.
Get it? Just haven't met you yet.
Oh, we're so clever. See what we did there?
Oh.
Okay, anyway, if you have any questions or you want to vote for the top love song, or, sorry, not top love song, top breakup song. I'm sorry, my bad.
Top breakup song of the semester.
You know, it's Payphone versus 50 Ways to Say Goodbye. So call in. The number is 435-283-7007. And here's I Just Haven't Met You Yet by Michael Bublé. Okay, that was Show Me What I'm Looking For by Carolina Liar.
Great.
I like that song.
I like them.
Which is why we played it, because
Absolutely.
we like them. Makes sense, right?
All right. So we have another segment. I know that there are people so excited to hear more music, so we'll try and not take too much time.
We might, though.
We talk a lot, let's just be honest. This is the Love Shack with Felix and the Dicer, by the way.
Yeah.
So
we give you dating advice.
We do. We're way great.
We are.
This one that we're going to be talking about this next segment is how to get over someone in a healthy way. And this can be really, 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 really hard. I'm pretty sure we all know that.
Right.
And what do you think? Dicer,
I'm kind of really straight to the point and kind of like almost rude about this kind of stuff.
I'm like the opposite, so.
It's like, I don't know, I feel like it's almost necessary. For me, I think that, you know, to get over someone, you need to just, like, get rid of them out of your life. I say delete them out of your life. So, you know, delete them out of your contacts so you're not tempted to text them, unfriend them on Facebook, unfollow them on Twitter, you know, do whatever you do on Tumblr. I don't know if you can follow people on Tumblr. I don't follow Tumblr. But it's just, it's going to help you get over them and not, like, necessarily dwell on,
okay,
I can't text them.
It's true, and I do agree with that, but at the same time, I'm kind of more on, like, the entire other side, where it's hard. It is so hard to be able to just cut people out of your life, because, Kate, the thing is, for me, not even, like, relationships, or, like, people that I like, or anything like that, getting over that kind of thing, or breakups, that's one thing. But, like, I get so invested in just people in general, and I know there are a lot of people out there that are the same way, with friends even, where cutting them off, just like cold turkey, that is hard. That is so hard.
It is, but sometimes that's necessary.
And it's true, and in some circumstances, cold turkey is a lot easier than the alternative, and like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think a lot of it, you just need to know the relationship that you have with this person.
Yeah.
Like, if there's a friendship there as well, well, I'm sure there is, but you know what I mean? If you need to just move on and be done, go for it. But at the same time, like, know what you're dealing with. Because, like, for example, getting rid of pictures on their phone in your room on Facebook, Instagram, like, that makes sense. But at the same time,
I think that's almost a little extreme.
yeah, exactly.
Because I still have pictures of some of my exes, like, you know, I have them in, like, a little photo album thing that my mom gave me for my birthday a while
your
ago.
mom.
And, you know, I still have pictures with them on Facebook. I have no hard feelings towards them, but there are some people that they'll just, like, dwell on those pictures, like, those were the times when we dated.
Yeah,
you know?
when it's not that life anymore.
Yeah, so you just got to realize, you know, you got to move on. They've already moved on.
See, and I think another huge one is don't go places that remind you of them, which is hard.
That's another kind of extreme because we are in Ephraim.
Yes, but, I mean, for example, like, you don't want to break down in the middle of a restaurant because you're sitting in your special booth.
But at the same time, there are not very many places
In
that you can
Ephraim.
go. Like,
that makes sense. That makes
like,
sense.
oh, we used to hold hands in Walmart, and now here I am in Walmart. You know?
Well, that's also super duper sensitive,
So, I don't know. You just need to avoid places if you can help it, I feel.
if you can help it, yes. And if not, that makes sense. There's going to be instances. But I think the biggest one, I know that's helped me in the past, is just surrounding myself with good friends. Because, like, friends want what's best for you. It's true. And they're honestly going to do whatever it takes to help you out, whether that be avoiding that person in a public setting or, like
rerouting.
This has happened before. The dicer has done this for Felix, so...
Felix has done this for the dicer. We've done this multiple times.
We have. So that's what friends are for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Surround yourself with good friends who have your best interest at heart.
Yeah.
And they'll help you out. I mean, keep to what you want. Don't let your friends tell you what you're doing. But, well, that's why you want good friends.
I feel like another thing that really helps out is, you know, doing service, keeping yourself busy.
Just keeping yourself busy.
Because last year I went through kind of a hard time, like, where I liked this guy a lot, and then all of a sudden he just stopped talking to me, and all I could think about is, why is he not talking to me, you know? But I didn't want to be one of those needy girls, so I just kind of, like, blew it off and didn't text him or anything, but, you know, it's always on my mind. And I had to do volunteer hours for human development, and that was probably the best thing that I could have done, because I went and I played with all these little kids at the preschool here, and, you know, that got my mind off of it, because, you know, these little kids are trying to play with you. You can't just sit there and mope.
Well, which
they
one
don't
won?
Understand. Oh, the preschool did.
Okay, good.
Yeah, the preschool versus Sterling.
Oh, goodness.
So, yep, and the preschool won. So just go do service. It really does help.
Keep your mind busy. Well, because the thing is if you're busy doing other things and you have other things on your mind, it won't wander.
Exactly.
Like, you'll be doing different things. You won't have time to wander and start thinking about that whole mess. Which, you know, it's going to be there anyway. Why just let it grow and get worse?
Right.
You just have to let it fade. Which is hard.
And I think another big thing that you should do is to cry about it. I mean, I know that's a big thing for girls. Guys, not so much. But it's healthy to cry.
It is.
It is. You're getting out all this emotion. You don't need to keep it bottled up. But I would definitely say, you know, cry about it for a day, maybe. But after that, get over it. You know, go live your life. Don't have a pity party for days.
See, that's hard for me because I dwell on things. And I'm like, I'm not one of those girls that, like, cry forever. But then I'll be like, I'll just get kind of like, oh. And then I'll be mopey.
Yeah.
And nobody likes to be around that, so.
Right.
So don't allow yourself to have a pity party all the time because it kind of drags people down and then they just don't want to be around you. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. There are sometimes when there are situations when you don't want to get over someone, but you're not around them anymore. Like when you have a missionary out or someone who's in the military, you know?
You know, something like that, yeah.
So, and in that case, I wouldn't say get over them, but you can't just dwell on what you had before because they're out doing what they need to do and growing up. And if they're growing up and they come back to you, like little you from 2 years ago or whatever, you know, they're mature now and you're still the same. I just feel like you need to grow with them almost.
You do. And I actually had a friend that recently just got back from the military, and he was gone for like a year. And he's still who he was before. He's still the obnoxious kid that I knew before. But the truth of it is that if I hadn't grown, if I hadn't, you know, tried to progress in the past year, then seeing him again, not just seeing him again, but talking to him more in depth and like just, you know, being with him again and spending time with him.
Right.
It wouldn't have, like, it's not the same. It's not the same as it used to be. But at the same time, it's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it would have been like bad, not as good different if I hadn't just, well, not that I was dwelling on him because that would, if you knew the situation, my friends, but
I know the situation.
I'm just saying, you want to grow and you want to develop because when they get back, you guys are both going to be completely different people. And, well, not completely.
But you are going to be different.
You're going to be different and you're going to have to reacquaint yourself with that person.
Yeah. But I think that if you want to stay, you know, I don't know, focused on this person, maybe. I'm not sure how to word that. But you do need to do the exact opposite of everything we just said, basically. You know, keep in touch. Skype with them if you can. Write letters. Call them. Do whatever. You can message them, but I feel like, I don't know, I'd rather call or Skype just because, you know, you can feel the emotion and things. And I don't know. I just, personally, I like that. Yeah. And, you know, keep the little things that remind you of them. Voicemails, letters, pictures.
That's huge, actually, because the thing is I think back, I've got a lot, and this isn't even, like, romantically involved at all, really, most of them.
Right.
But I've got a ton of friends that are gone right now on, you know, military and then missions, hardcore. All my friends are, like, gone now. And I know there were potential dating opportunities that couldn't really come because of things and how things went down and everything. And they treated me a certain way, and they, I don't know, they had that respect and valued you. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you can't forget that because that's kind of the bar. You know what I mean? Where you're like, okay, well, these people are treating me like this, and this is how I deserve to be treated. Yeah. And if you keep those letters, and if you keep those things that remind you of them, then that's gonna, you know, help you stay focused on, okay, well, I deserve this. I deserve this. I'm not gonna settle for anything less than this. Right. So, I don't know. That's personal experience from Felix. So, I don't know. But there's just a little bit of how to get over someone in a positive way. So...
Okay, and we actually have a request that we're going to play for Elmer. It's the first request of the season, of the semester. I'm so excited. But he requested that we play First Date by Blink-182. So this is for you, Elmer. Holla at ya.
That was so cute.
Welcome back, friends.
Good song, good song.
I know. Sorry, that was kind of a longer playlist just because we had someone call in and want a song requested.
It was awesome.
It was the first one. We had to play it.
And his name was Elmer.
As in Fudd.
Elmer Fudd.
Except, I'm sure he probably gets that all the time. I'm sorry, Elmer, if you're still out there.
I'm sorry. We will be talking about some very interesting topic, by the way.
Okay. So. I need to introduce this topic, actually.
You need
because
to.
My brother was talking to me over the summer, and he's like, you know, like at-will employment? And I was like, yeah, because I had this whole spiel. I worked at MetaConnect over the summer, and this lady came in, and she was like, okay, well, at-will employment, this is what it is. You know, you can basically quit whenever you want. We can let you go whenever we want. We don't have to give notice or whatever. And my brother was like, how interesting would that be if people did at-will dating? Mm-hmm. And I was like, huh, mind-blowing, right?
That is mind-blowing.
And I like try to relate almost everything to dating. So here I am. I'm like, what can I talk about with this? I can put this on my show. You know? So I think that at-will dating would be an interesting experience. But I also feel like that already happens. That it's
dating
one
can be
night
like that.
stands and non-committal makeout sessions, you know,
Where it's like, okay, we're done now.
yeah, it's like, okay, well, you satisfied what I needed,
And we're done.
and now we're gone. So I'll see you never, you know. So I feel like that's kind of like at-will dating, if you must.
Kind of, yeah.
It's just something that, you know, hopefully it's not as extreme as one night stands. Hopefully it's just kind of like you go on a date and then nothing.
I've had that happen
Because
before. I've done that to people
I've
before.
had that happen before. I mean, the kid that we were talking about earlier, Sterling, the kid who I was like so upset over because he never really talked to me. Well, he did talk to me, but then after spring break, he never talked to me. Anyway.
Imagine if you could do that. Like, instead of saying I break up, like, I'm breaking up with you. Or I'm, sorry. You could say, you're fired. Like,
You're fired from my dating life.
Or I'd be like, you know what? I just quit. I quit. I'm gone. Like, how perfect would that be? Life would be so much more easier.
I know, right?
You wouldn't have to worry about putting things nicely. You just say, you're fired. I'm sorry.
It was nice.
I don't need to give you a reason why you're fired.
You're
Just
let go.
We're letting you go. Anyway, it's just a thought.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this happens, though, like just the whole one-night stand type thing. This happens because people need to fill a void or something. That's how yeah.
I think it might be a rebound, too. That could be something super duper
Oh, yeah,
frequently.
that happens.
I've heard
to
lots of people with, like, non-committal makeouts. It's like...
Okay.
And they broke up, like, a month
3
ago.
hours later.
Oh, 3 hours later. They're like, have a non-committal
we're done.
makeout, buddy.
We can't do this. This is going too fast.
Exactly. I don't know. And then they could be lonely and just want someone.
Yeah, it's true. It happens to the best of us, you know?
Dicer.
Hey, I have not been that
I'm just kidding.
extreme. Okay, thank you.
I'm just kidding. I'm
very
just
much.
joking. I apologize.
Please apologize again.
I'm
just kidding.
Can I please
I'm
be
kidding.
forgiven?
I'm kidding. Let's move on. You're forgiven.
Okay.
I'm just being a brat tonight.
It's okay.
So, how you can avoid this situation, though, you know, just don't. This is something my mom tells me all the time. She'll be like, before I leave the house, hey, Dicer, don't give it away for free. You know it, Mom. You know, like, I don't know. You just need to make your date work for it. Does that make any sense? Like,
yeah.
It can't be like, hey, let's go watch a movie over at my house.
I'm trying to remember that quote. I don't even know what it's from, but it's from some chick flick or something where she's like, on this rampage, she's like, no one's going to want to buy the ice cream truck if you're giving ice cream away for free. Like,
yeah, it's true, though. Like,
yeah, it is.
There are so many different, I don't know, I can't think of the word.
Analogies?
Right now. Yes, thank you. Thank
There
you.
you
I
go.
was like, analysis? No.
Our brains are fried. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
sorry. It's the end of a Tuesday. It happens sometimes.
It's the end of a Tuesday.
That should explain it all right there.
All the time.
But I don't know. I remember being in courtship and marriage with Lynn Polson, and he said to be a 90-day person. Like, so before you kiss the person you like, you should know them for 90 days. And then after that, you know, it's acceptable. So it's not like,
at it.
you know, like, just so the kiss means something, you know? Mm-hmm. So that way you know if it's love or lust. If you really want to kiss someone on the first date, it's probably lust. Just saying. So those are my thoughts on at-will dating.
Good thoughts.
It's just something totally different, you know?
It is kind of, it's an interesting concept, but you wouldn't think it happens, but it kind of does. And I feel like it happens not even on like a non-committal makeout note, but also like on just relationships and friends.
Right.
Like where it's like, oh my gosh, this person's so cool, or oh my gosh, this person's one of my best friends. And then you feel like you got cut off.
Right.
Oh my gosh, that song. And then they're just somebody that you used to know.
Somebody.
Anyways, we're going to be moving on to some music now. We're going to be playing 21 Guns, right? Green Day.
Yep, that's the one.
Green Day coming.
That's one of my favorite Green Day songs, actually, and it's so much fun to play on Rock Band. Oh.
So this is dedicated to the Dicer.
Yes, indeed. All right, here you go.
That was Eyes Open by T Swift. I actually really like that song.
I've never even heard of that song until today.
Well, I think it was on the Hunger Games soundtrack.
Yeah, I think it was too. Like, when I looked up the song, it was like, from the Hunger Games. But I think it got kind of bypassed with Safe and Sound.
Well, that one's so good. I love that one.
I know, it is good. I like it a lot. And I don't like Taylor Swift very much, so that's saying something.
I'm kind of a T Swift fan.
All right,
Okay.
well, let's get to it. Our next topic is dating game shows.
Which I love. I love.
See, I'm not a huge fan of them.
I am.
But my guilty pleasure over the summer was Love in the Wild. Except I hated the host. What was her name? Jenny McCart.
She's kind of
McCarty.
annoying.
Oh my gosh. I was just not happy with her. She was crazy.
Like it. It's like Bachelor Pad meets Survivor. I love it.
I know. It's so funny because the people are so shallow. They're like attractive, but they're so full of themselves. Well,
they're
actually,
not that
sometimes
attractive, most of them.
Lately, like this last season, they weren't even that attractive. Either they were just like not attractive.
They were decent.
Or they were like fake, which I think is not attractive. Like, where they have like, caked on makeup, plastic surgery, the works. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
I think the girls were all right. The guys weren't so cute, though.
Oh, no, not this
last
year.
season. If any of you guys watch Love in the Wild or know what we're talking about, but
I just want to know, why are they attracted to that? Like, I would go on Twitter and people are like, oh, this guy is so attractive. And I'm like, no, they aren't. It's like, do you see what they say to people? I don't understand.
So it's funny because I kind of really loved Ben from this last season. But
see, that's what people loved Ben. And I thought he was funny, but I didn't think he was attractive.
See, I didn't think he was way attractive. I just thought he was my favorite guy because I thought he was funny. I thought he was level-headed.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
He was British.
He was British with an accent. You know what I mean? Like, I understand.
I don't know. Like, he said funny things, and I would, like, tweet him, And he actually retweeted me a few times and would, like, talk to me back. And I was like,
what?
Ooh, this is nifty. But people would also tweet me back, and they'd be like, yeah, he's kind of stupid, but at least he's nice on the eyes. And I'm like, no, he's stupid, and he's not that attractive. He has his accent going for him.
Do you know how jealous I am right now that Ben from Love in the Wild tweeted you?
You should be. He tweeted me multiple times. I think 3.
Oh, my gosh.
It was magical.
Can I... Oh my gosh.
Okay, let's move on to the next game show so we aren't boring people to death out there.
Of Love in the Wild. Pretty much Love in the Wild is a lot like Bachelor Pad where there's like a lot of girls and a lot of guys and they're trying to find love in the wild and they have like all these different challenges that they have to do. And I think that one's actually more effective with dating than like the Bachelor and the Bachelorette.
Your love is put to the test. Like you have to test your patience with them. You find out what you like about them, what you don't like. Like people lose their patience. They might be more patient than like people expected, and so it really is a good test for love.
I think it is.
It's probably one of the better game shows that way.
I think
dating
so.
game shows.
Well, actually, I'm going to sound like such a hardcore nerd with this stuff. I am. Let's just be honest. But from the first season of Love in the Wild, the very first season, I know they're only on season 2, but every single person, like the final 2 couples that competed for the finale, both of them from the first season are still dating.
Yeah,
I think one of them is like engaged, like the people who won. What was it? Mike and Samantha.
Yeah,
they're still together dating, and I think they're talking about getting married. And then Ken and Janina from this season are still dating.
Ugh, I didn't like them.
I know. And then Michelle and Ben are still dating too. So it's like they're still dating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like with all the other ones, it usually doesn't really last.
Yeah, kind of like The Bachelor or The Bachelorette
or Bachelor Pad. I read the reviews and like.
I think there are like
stayed together.
Maybe 5 couples in the entire seasons that have actually gotten married, stayed together, whatever. Maybe if that. I think the first, like the original Bachelorette, I think she's still married to the guy she picked.
Well, some of them are, stuck, but most of them don't. But it's good entertainment though.
It really is.
It is good entertainment.
I couldn't imagine being there myself, like The Bachelor or Bachelorette. Like if I were to go on The Bachelor, if I were to go on The Bachelor as someone competing for this guy's love, I would get jealous so fast. I don't know how these girls can stand it. Like, because honestly, he's making out with girls every other night. Like, I don't want to be just another number.
I think I could do it. I'm not even gonna lie.
Sickening.
I
think I just threw up in a little bit.
Not hardcore. I think I would lose my mind into a few weeks of it, but I think I could do it.
I just don't understand how, like, you could fall in love with someone, and that was air quoted. Sorry, you guys couldn't see that. But fall in love with someone who's not devoted to you.
Exactly. And I feel the same way. But
right.
They pay you to go on those shows. And
oh, so you would go make out with someone for money. I think they call those prostitutes.
I'm not a prostitute.
Sorry, I'm just giving her a hard time. I'm sorry. So okay, anyway,
you're forgiven. No, but they're good. They're really, really good. I don't know, entertainment. But I know a lot of people don't like watching them because of that.
Yeah, and like I have no problem watching it. I just couldn't imagine being in that situation. I mean, if I were like the Bachelorette and I had like...
Oh, you would love that.
Yeah, I would love that. You know, how many guys is it? Like, I don't even know.
They start with like 25.
Multiple guys. We'll just say that.
25.
You know, 25. Whew.
That's the starting.
See, like, that would be awesome, but I would hate to be one of those 25 people.
Yeah, and I understand that. I don't know. I know that I liked The Bachelorette this last season because she was very level-headed and everything.
Right.
So, and I know a lot of people were
She was the one who picked the guy from Utah, right?
Yep, Jeff.
Jeff.
Oh, Jeff. Jeffrey. I hate that name. So sorry, people out there named Jeffrey. I think it sounds disgusting.
It's okay. I like Jeffrey. So
and then I felt bad because there's this Jeffrey that I really look up to, and his name's Jeffrey. Anyway,
so we're going to move on. Do I think that dating game shows are a good idea? Personally, I don't think so unless you're like the last 14 people on Earth and you're, well, actually 15 because someone has to be the host of Love in the Wild. So
I'll be the host. I love it.
So, you know, maybe if you're like desperate and shallow, it's a good idea. But personally, I would say try online dating sites first.
See, I wish I could do that first, but I wouldn't because it's so shallow, all the people that go on it. But imagine if you had like a group of people from Ephraim getting together and like doing challenges and like how fun would that be?
I think those are called dates.
Oh gosh. We need men in Ephraim. Like not just boys, but like men who will ask people on dates.
Well, it's hard too because the ratio of guys to girls is horrible. Wait. Girls to guys. Girls to guys.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
How many girls? Yeah, there are like 3 girls to every guy or something like that.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
That's what's called dating. Shut up. Anyways.
Well, I'm just saying.
But it does make for good TV.
Sorry, I'm being a little snarky tonight.
It's okay, so am I.
Okay, well, we're going to be playing some more songs for you now.
Some good stuff.
The next song is I'd Rather Be With You by Joshua Radin. And remember, this is your last chance to call in and vote for the top breakup song of the week. And remember, it's 50 Ways to Say Goodbye versus Payphone. So call in to the cage. The number is 435-283-7007. So here's I'd Rather Be With You.
Being Sarah Bareilles.
All right. That was Uncharted by Sarah Bareilles.
I love her.
We love her.
She's like my favorite.
She is. She's quite fantastic.
Mm-hmm. So talented.
Anyway,
I think what else is there to talk about?
We don't have much time left, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna tell you the top love song.
Breakup song.
Dang it! I thought I was doing so well. Top breakup song of the week, and then we're gonna sign off and give you The Love Shack by the B-52s. You can never go wrong with that.
Mm-mm.
So, the winner of this week's top breakup song.
Drum roll. We literally had drums in here earlier.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if you heard it, but they were just going.
They're going to town with their drums.
I know. I was about to go and tell them to stop, and then they left.
Why can't they be here when we need them? Anyways, drum roll. Ready, set, go.
It's Payphone by Maroon 5.
I voted for that.
I didn't.
I win.
Why do I never win?
I won 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, whatever.
Awesome.
We'll fight later.
Okay.
Okay, anyway, we're going to sign off now. It's been great. Listen for Musical Mania, is that right?
Musical Mania.
Musical Mania. It's good.
That'll be awesome.
We love you.
That's Jersey for awesome.
Oh my. Keep listening to The Cage 88.9. Here's The Love Shack by the B-52s.